What is up, guys? What's going on? Hope you're having a good day today. So I decided to make another video. Hold on, let me get set up here. So I'm making another video about some spiritual stuff. I hope some people saw my video. Hopefully it helped. I haven't checked the Spirit Social Network, so I'll definitely check to see if there's any questions. Probably not, but if there are, I'd be happy to answer them. Like I said in the last video, the last video was my first one talking about stuff like this, so I kind of didn't really know where to go. So I just wanted to talk about some things that I see a lot of people basically on YouTube and other places in the comments what they're talking about, kind of just the current main things that some people are concerned about or don't know about. So that's why I talked about the possible fake alien invasion, just connecting back, giving a little history on stuff, talking about how not, all aliens are bad. They're not, yeah, there's just some demons out there, obviously, but they're not demon, like, it's not like if you're an alien, you're a demon. None of that shit, basically. So I wanted to kind of, just, like, in a way, debunk some of that stuff, just by giving you my information and my input. So what I think I'm going to do this time today is kind of just give a short background of my history, how I got into this stuff. I know Ivan put up the video, I think it was last night, talking about, just even if you don't think it's going to make a big impact, you never know, basically. People can connect and maybe have similar stories, and maybe, you can help people along their way just by sharing your part. So I think that's very helpful. So I have obviously no issue doing that. I'd love to do that. And I probably should have started there at first, to be honest, but who cares? Whatever. So I think what I'll start with basically is just I had no idea this was gonna be, my journey. If you asked me 2 years ago, even though I was still awakening and discovering stuff, if you told me 2 years ago that I'd be where I am today, with the information I have today, I would just be like, you're crazy, what are you smoking, all that kind of stuff. So, but I'm very happy where I'm at. I really am. I'm very lucky. I count myself as blessed, obviously, because I was put here to do this. So I'm blessed, I'm lucky. But anyways, so like most people, I was brought up religious. My dad was basically a priest before he met my mom. I am I'm in a very Italian Catholic old school family related to, like mafia, Chicago stuff, all that stuff. So obviously religion has been in my life. And when I was little, I was an altar boy at a church. I attended church until, I was probably 16, maybe 17. I decided this just wasn't for me. And I started experiencing a lot of weird stuff too. And I kind of just wanted to discover myself, before I, discover like a belief or a new belief system. Kind of like I should know myself first, which is true. So I decided to do that, and I'm here. I'm here today. But anyways, so I was religious. I've always had a connection with God, even at my dark times, my low times. When I was young, I mean, I kind of had a hard, in some ways, more of like a psychologically hard childhood, like I'm someone where I was brought up in a family with money, so I have always been someone to say, I understand how money causes so many problems. I used to tell so many people, I used to always think, I would change, I get rid of all the stuff I have just for like what I thought was a healthy, usual lifestyle and family. And I know that all the material stuff just doesn't cut it, and that it honestly doesn't make you a better person. And in some ways, having more money creates more problems. I'm very well aware of that, so I've always been saying that. I come from I'm lucky and I'm grateful to be from where I have been, but I'm like I'm saying, I can see the issues and I can see where, there's the life of money and then there's the life of just experiences, basically, in true life. So I know that I can see the lines between that. So money's never been, a priority for me. I mean, obviously it's important. You gotta work, you gotta do that, but I'm not someone where I'm just chasing money my entire life. I know to definitely don't do that, and that's why I even changed my career. I went from being a marketing major to now I'm in hopefully 3 years from now I'll get my master's in counseling and therapy, and I just connect with people and help people, and I think that's really the route to go. I think we need a lot more people in that field versus marketing, just getting money, telling you what you need to buy when you really don't. It's not good. That stuff needs to change. So I'm very happy that spirituality influenced me to go on a better path in life. So first off, for spirituality, I want to thank that. But let me get back to what I was saying. So I grew up religious. I had a very close connection with God, but for some reason I just felt like I didn't fit in a group. I've always been one of those people where I felt different. Yeah, I had friends and all that, but my beliefs deep down inside who I was a little different, and I just kind of, I don't know. I guess I can put myself in that category of those types of people. So that has always been the thing. I've always been connected with God, always, even when I didn't know it was spirituality. I still have it, and I've always been, and I feel a lot of you guys are going to say the same thing. I've always been very intuitive. I've had a huge imagination. Most of my life, I thought something was wrong with me, if you want to know the truth. I was worried. I thought I had like a mental disorder. I thought I was crazy. And, kind of like, oh, I can't tell the world and all that shit. But I basically just, tapped into myself, found myself, and loving myself, which, everyone really needs to get to the point. But that has been one thing. I've always been super imaginative. It's like I can just escape in my head, and I've always been someone where when I dream, I go into the astral, I go into the 4D. I mean, my brother, when I was 12, taught me how to get into that stuff. When I was 12, he was either 14 or 15. So, I mean, he's really not doing the spiritual route now. That's just not his thing. That's not his ways. In this life, that's just right now not for him. And I get that. I totally respect that. But my brother used to be a spiritual person, and he even taught me that. So I mean, going from I'm 25 right now. So for 13 years, I've known about spiritual stuff, ghosts, and I've been connected to paranormal stuff, and I've always been connected to a lot of dark stuff. I mean, I'm not a dark person, but I grew up on just like the horror movies, Halloween, paranormal, spirits, ghosts. I've always been someone where I've been into that. And I've had my experiences when I was little with that kind of stuff. Definitely. So I've always kind of known, and that's where I'm going. I think you guys will understand. I've always kind of known that this life had something more for me than just get a job, get married, make a living, retire, whatever. I've always known I'm gonna have a very complicated, weird life because that's just not me. I'm not greater than anybody. I'm cut from a different thread. I guess you can say I've always felt like that. And some of you have probably seen it, maybe not, but there was a movie, and this has always stuck with me. There was a movie back in the day called Simon Birch. Go out and watch it. It has nothing to do with spirituality, but there's a part in the movie. Basically, he's this kid who, I don't know if he was legally just like a short person, if he's legally a midget, I'm not sure, but basically it was about this kid who was just a lot smaller than everybody. They had a really hard like childhood. I mean, in the movie, he ends up dying as a kid, but basically, he in the movie didn't know why, but he always knew. He said, "I am an instrument of God. He has a plan for me," and that's another thing I think a lot of you guys can connect with. I have always felt like that. Everyone does have their plan. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's here for a reason. If you think you're here for no reason, you look on the brighter side. You are. You just haven't unlocked it yet. And I always feel like I feel the worst thing is when people are just disinformed and they don't know, because there's so much out there that can affect you, and if you don't know anything, you're gonna have such a hard time. So that's why getting this out there, getting people to know the truth, is what's needed right now. I was getting affected too, but anyways, in the movie, he basically said all the time he was an instrument for God. He didn't know why, but he was here to make a difference. And at the end of the movie, there's a bus crash, and this bus is sinking, and the little dude, he ends up saving practically everybody, and he dies. I mean, great movie, sad movie, but anyways, I've always felt like that. I just, in my gut instinct, in my heart, I know that I'm here for a specific task, for a reason, to help people, and I will talk about this in later videos because it's more down the road. But I have figured out that because I've had a lot of visions from a lot of past lives. When I finally learned how to meditate, it was like a whole new door opened up. It was like I can just enter into this place and just get all the special information, and it was amazing. But I have figured out that in my past lives too, there's a theme, and I don't know this for sure, but I just have the feeling. I think everybody probably has that theme, a certain theme in their life. Like there's a certain thing that they're here for. In all of my past lives, most of them I can remember, it's at a turning point, just like we're at now, with maybe the whole World War III and the shifts and going from 3D to 4D to 5D. Um, it wasn't maybe that necessary, that type of time then, but it was a turning point, and there was basically a split decision, and I was here to bring the light out. I have a lot of negative, dark connections with like past reptilian lives where I brought out, I'm very connected still, like I've said before, spirituality brought me closer to Jesus and God. You don't have to be religious to be connected with them. I really didn't understand until I dropped religion, to be honest with you. But that's just me. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But yeah, I mean, it's just we all have our themes. Like I was saying, basically, I brought a lot of I feel Christ consciousness, a lot of just um the spiritual knowledge that people needed just to be at a higher vibration and have unconditional love and that like I'm saying, and that's what I think I'm here to do now. Again, look at what I'm doing now. I'm sharing information with people and spreading unconditional love. A lot of people, there's a lot of disinformation out there. A lot of people think this, a lot of people think that, and some of us need to come on here and just try to set it straight, even if it doesn't work. I think it's gonna work because the good always ends up prevailing. But anyways, I think that people have a big theme with their lives. So check into it, know yourself, look into yourself, try to get a theme about you, who you are, and just what you feel. And most of the time, what you feel is the truth. Even if you doubt yourself first, even if you go through every other way to end up back where you're at, comes full circle. That's how life works. That's how the universe works with us. It is what it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, what you're here to do will be completed. So don't panic. Be happy. Um, anyways, so I know I'm kind of rambling on there, but I've always been connected, to God, and nature, and for some reason I've always been obsessed with space since I was little. I've always loved space, always loved planets. I've always liked Mars. I never knew why, and then I found out I was connected to Mars, which is insane. But um, my whole life, I've just kind of basically known that there was something different for me. And at points, it was hard for me, but at the same time, it drove me to get to this point. And if you're someone like me, I mean, everyone's equal, everyone's spiritual. If you're someone like me where you feel you're getting this stuff earlier than a lot of people and you want to share it, I mean, this is a reason. Just like how I've said with alchemy and esoteric knowledge and beliefs and stuff, it will find you. Yeah, sometimes, it'll like bait you to where you want to discover more, but it was for a reason. You were selected. You were selected for this. I mean, we're all selected, but some people are just selected to introduce it, and that's what I'm doing. That's what you guys are doing, and I give you guys support and all love in the world, and hope you guys, would give it back to me, and I'm sure you would. Um, so let's see, where should I go? Okay, when I was younger, I feel, and this is where a lot of negative stuff comes in. When I was younger, I feel I was very not attached to dark stuff, but I had a lot of bad nightmares. I've seen a lot of bad negative energy and ghosts and, things. I was just basically, I feel tormented by a lot of stuff as a little kid. It was really, really hard for me. And I just couldn't cope with it. I didn't know what it was. There's a lot of stuff that you kind of just put in the back of your head that you just don't think about because it's like, I don't really know how to approach it. So I went through that route. I feel a lot of spiritual people. Sorry, my computer went down. I feel a lot of them probably have, had a past like me where you've gotten into some bad stuff. You have to kind of lose yourself to find yourself. I've looked and even, like when I first started getting into star seeds and knowing about this, look at symptoms and all the stuff that happens to you, and like even though a lot of it had to do with me, it's we go through a lot of issues. We have a tough time. I don't want to sit here and say that we deal with more than other people because we don't. Everyone deals with stuff in their own way, but yeah, we have a lot of our issues. We really do, but we always get through them. We're always okay. Just like how, I know I have a ton of stuff coming in this life that I have no idea yet that, I'm just gonna have to take. It is what it is. But I was someone where, and I'm not afraid to say this, because the world's kind of changed. Maybe 10 years ago, it would sound bad, but yeah, when I was a teenager, I would get into just mischief. I mean, I wasn't bad. I wasn't a bad person, and I didn't do a whole bunch of really bad stuff. But I would get in trouble. I would get caught by the police. I smoked weed. I tried stuff. I did all that kind of stuff. I got in trouble a lot. But that was, basically before I knew where I was going. I think it's really hard in life, and it might be the hardest point, and that's where I think teenagers are, is when you're in that lost period. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you're doing. It's very bad. Basically, you're vulnerable to either do really good, do really bad, or just have a whole bunch of crap happen. I think all teenagers go through that. So, so happy I'm out of that. But if you're a teenager and you're watching this, man, more power to you, especially in this day. That would be really hard. I never want to go back to that. But let's see, 2010. I moved out of Aurora, which at the time I thought was the worst thing that could happen to me, and it ended up being the best thing because that's when all this stuff started happening to me. Well, around 2011, 2012, which obviously that makes sense. I know 2012. Not the end of the world, just the higher frequencies awakening, the acceleration of the new age. Basically, that's why I like to describe it as just the acceleration, the head start, the jump start to where we're heading hopefully pretty soon. Hopefully, I don't know, who knows. But I moved and it was good because I was getting into a lot of bad stuff. I was hanging out with a lot of bad people. I had a really negative output on life. I didn't love myself. I was severely overweight. I know I'm still pretty chubby now. I probably look fat. But I was probably at that point, because I gained a little more weight after that, I was probably 300 pounds. And then 2000, I think 2012 it was, and again, 2012 is when the shift happened, and I started experiencing some really weird stuff. So this is probably where a lot of you guys are going to get the most useful information. So sorry about the first 18 minutes, but I feel it was important. So 2012 is when shit hit the fan. I started changing. Basically, I was someone where I was really overweight. I did not like myself. I was kind of in denial about everything. I didn't want to face anything negative in my life. I kind of had like that a bit like a midlife crisis, type thing. I almost had that. I really didn't know who I was. Um, I also was someone where I was in relationships for like 9 years in a row. I just couldn't be by myself. I didn't love myself. I had to always find somebody. I had to always chase somebody. I always had to have something to set my eyes on because if I set my eyes on myself, it wasn't gonna go well. The very, very bad times. But something happened, and I think it was a download. Now that I'm aware of all this stuff, I go back and I see how influenced everything still was back then. I just had no idea. That's Ivan. That's too funny. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, you're gonna be seeing this soon, buddy. Anyways, so basically, I decided that I wanted to drop a lot of my friends. I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to learn about new stuff. I was just and I got into college and I was really happy I was out of high school. High school sucked. Um, But basically, I would wake up, and even though like I want to get healthy now, which I'm going to get to, I would wake up just like wanting to know things, you know? I was like, I want to know more about Egyptians. I want to know more about Buddhism. I want to know more about God. I almost decided to go Buddhist because I feel, and again, think what you want. I'm not going to tell you what to think, but I think religions and beliefs like that they only get you so far. But I think Buddhism is like the closest. Like if someone basically made me had to, which I wouldn't, but they made me pick a religion, I'd become Buddhist probably easily. That's the closest one. I started reading books on the Dalai Lama. I just stopped hanging out with bad people, started getting in shape. I lost 155 pounds. I literally lost almost half my body weight, which is insane. I was about 350, 340, and I started running like 10 miles a day on the treadmill. I've always been athletic. I was always in sports. I just thought being fat had to do with it, kind of like this is just me. But I lost 150 pounds, got really healthy, changed my whole outlook on life, got really positive. Even though I didn't realize it, a lot of positive energies were coming to me. And okay, so this is one thing I will talk about too. Around that time, because I was changing so much, of course it was going to be really hard for me, at certain times. It just makes sense. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm a very honest person. There were times where I would be outside, and I was like smoking a cigarette at night, just looking up at the stars. Which I mean, I still do all the time. But there were times where I was really sad, just kind of talking to God, talking to Mother Nature, and there's two things. One night I was doing that, and I saw like a silhouette of like a being just quickly like shoot by me, and I had no idea what the hell was going on. That was crazy. That's when I first started like really choosing, okay, I want to really get into what's out there, and like metaphysics. I love metaphysics, just that kind of stuff. Anyways, but there were times where I would be out there talking to Mother Nature, just sad, um, crying, and seriously, as soon as I'd start crying, out of nowhere, the wind would pick up, blow it across my face, and just wipe it away. And I've been very close to Gaia my whole life. Like I said in past videos, there as a second mom. Constantly sending her positive energy all the time. We really need to help raise her vibration and keep her healthy and just stop all stop this world that it is basically, stop all the shit. But I felt very connected, and that, because I'm very connected to the elementals, as Ivan says, the elementals. I really am. So that was me opening up to that. And I've always been, it's weird, before I got into alchemy, I'm very good at metaphors and meanings, and I always kind of looked at the sun as the symbol of the spirit, kind of shines throughout and gives the life to all and just all that kind of stuff. That kind of mentality I've just always had. I've always liked, like I said, Buddhism and Asian cultures. I don't know why. I swear I was probably Japanese in a past life. I've always wanted to go to Japan. I don't know. I just always liked those kind of cultures and their beliefs. That's why I got into the Dalai Lama and Buddhism and all that. But yeah, around 2012, I just started feeling really weird, just like something's changing inside me. And I was like, I don't know if it is for the good, for better or worse. And obviously it was for the better. And then, um, a little bit before 2014, so like 2011, 2012 happened, and then up until 2013, right about 2014, I was still kind of getting into this stuff. My main focus was school, college, and just all that kind of stuff. So a lot of my awakening had to kind of do with it. For some reason I was taking all these anthropology classes and learning history and religion, and I was doing my gen ed, so I was also trying to figure out what I want to do for a job. So I was like, all of this stuff's coming to me right now. Why not learn about it in school too? I think aligning yourself as much as you can is so important. It's very, very helpful. But yeah, so I started learning about that stuff, just connecting, learning about people, beliefs, the Anunnaki, and then Ancient Aliens came on, and I was just hooked, man. I swear, it was like a drug. I had to watch all the episodes. I was so obsessed with it, and I had no idea why. Um, and then so this is where 2014 happened. So I was into all that, and I was going down a good path. And then I met the girl from my most previous relationship, and we went out for about 2 years. She ended up moving in with me, got serious. I even accidentally got her pregnant, and she was gonna have a baby, which she ended up having a miscarriage, which, I mean, don't take it wrong. I mean, I was way too young, kind of like, thank God, it was bad. I mean, it was sad, but I was not ready for kids. Still, obviously not ready for kids. But I went out with her, and basically everything kind of just went, like on a just hold, everything kind of paused for a minute. So like when I was going out with her, I would still in my free time I would go on the computer and just study, research, and I had no idea why. Studying aliens, studying Zeta, studying reptilians, studying Egyptians, studying space, metaphysics, Manly P. Hall, Tesla, all these things, and nobody in my life influenced me to do that. Nobody. So that's where, downloads and kind of spirituality and just the life and everything that we just can't see. I don't know if you call it non-physical, whatever, just the higher up stuff, basically. I kind of realized, okay, I started realizing I'm kind of being controlled by this in a way, but in a positive way. And like a lot of people, I dove into the negative stuff first. But this is talking about not like people and cultures, but spirituality, the Illuminati, the Cabal, good, bad. I started learning about the bad first, which I mean I think that's good, I really do. But it's not good when you dive into all the bad stuff for a while and you don't know how to ground yourself or how to shake it. So that was a big mistake. I mean, I would sit up all night just watching Bohemian Grove and the Cabal and learn about the blood sacrifices and the child molestation and the satanic people and the worshiping the bloodlines and the Baphomet and, one thing that for some reason was huge in the beginning for me was, it was weird. I wanted to debunk. I mean, I'm laughing at it now, so hopefully laugh at me because, I'm laughing at it. I wanted to debunk, like, Christianity. I wanted to debunk religion. I wanted to prove that religion was kind of fake. I kind of saw it, in a way, just with the priests and all the messed up stuff going on and all the background stuff and the negative that I learned. So, that was kind of a hard time for me. Basically, learning that all the religions are almost the same, just, a little different version. So, pick what you want. And I know this probably isn't a term that is going to be used highly, obviously, on YouTube, not on Spirit Social. But I'm gonna be real with you. I almost felt like religion was like a whose dick is bigger kind of argument. I kind of feel like all the religions were just trying to basically make it like that. I mean, that's the truth. That's how I look at it. Um, so that was kind of hard, trying to debunk like Christianity and Jesus and all that stuff. I believed in God. I didn't know if Jesus was real. I was one of those people who was like, I'm gonna go prove that Jesus was the biggest lie in history. And now I get to get messages from Yeshua, and I'm very thankful where I am now. But yeah, basically it was a lot of negative stuff though. Just learning about the Cabal, all the stuff that I mentioned, basically the Babylonian times, how the Templars and the Christians, how they like slaughtered millions of people and took religions and made it their own, and painted it white and all that kind of stuff. And then after all that, I was like, okay, this is really, really good information, but I need something that's gonna make me feel okay. I need something that, what's the answer to all of this? And then I want to say about a year ago, and I mean, I've still, I was looking up all this stuff. I've always looked up this stuff. I've always been into psychic stuff and just hearing about the indigo children and the crystalline people, and I never considered myself that. I was just like, man, I would definitely like to get to that place one day. That'd be cool. Maybe in another life if I came through here. And then about a year ago, I had these really, really weird dreams. So I got into alchemy. There's a store in the town that my mom lives in, which is Wheaton, and Wheaton is a very, very, very conservative Christian small rich town. And there's a bookstore there, and also the theological society, theologian. I think it's a theological society. I'm not sure. It's in Wheaton. They publish a lot of like books on Buddhism, spirituality. There's a store called Quest in Wheaton, and it's a spiritual store. It's the only spiritual store I have ever seen. You can go in there, you can buy crystals, books, prayers, my song bowl that I got, all my books, my Manly P. Hall books. I got my alchemy book from there, and I was like, I wanna look into this stuff. I wanna look into some really old things because I've always felt like I'm an old soul. For some reason, everyone's always said, and again, I can't put everything in one video, so I try to hold off. But everyone's always been like, you're very wise. You're a very wise person. You're like an old man. People can just talk to me. People who don't even know me, just who don't know me that much, they unleash all their problems to me, and they just feel like they can connect to me, and I can give good advice. I just wish I can take my own advice, just like everyone else like me. But yeah, I'm very empathic. I'm very intuitive, and I have compassion. And even Ivan said one time, he was like, I think it was Ivan. I could be wrong. I think it was him though. He said, your sensitivity is like your strongest thing. You're very compassionate for others. You spill your heart out. Yeah, you do it too much, but through all this, I've learned to ground myself and control it, basically. So I got into alchemy, and once I got into alchemy, I was like, whoa. Like I would read my book, and then like every other paragraph, I'd stop and just look up, just be like, thank you. Like this synchronicity, this is just everything I understand and I connect to. And as soon as I started connecting to alchemy and working on myself and learning unconditional love and the issues I've had and breaking down mental barriers, I basically realized I took the shackles off my brain, because that's the thing. You're holding yourself in a prison, and you really need to free your mind. So almost like the more broad you think, the more you can understand. And I mean, I know a lot of people don't understand. It's like I think galactically, that's the way I put it. I don't just think so third dimensionally here. I'm everywhere. That's just how it is. That's just me. But I started getting really weird dreams, and and this happened for like half a year almost. I would get dreams that I was on spaceships. I had dreams of green people. I had dreams of one of them was being on this ship, and I was the only one there, and it was really, really dark out, and I saw this meteor coming to whatever planet I was on. The outside looked like the moon. It really did. The craters and all that kind of stuff. And I remember this thing just hitting, and I don't remember hearing anything, but like as soon as it hit, the whole planet just turned, and I started turning and like it was insane. I also had dreams of being right outside Earth. I could, and again, I'm calling them dreams, and I just saw energy, so I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying is legit. When I'm confused or I want to know that I'm going on the right path, if I see a blue or a green or a white energy, I know what angel is with me usually. So I'm going on a good path. So thank God I'm doing this today. I wasn't going to do this today, but I'm really happy I am. So basically, I had dreams of being outside of Earth. I could smell it. I had one where like someone took my helmet off and like I breathed and it was fine and I smelled it and it was sweet, and I still to this day remember the cold sweetness of like outside. It was insane. Um, and then I had one where, and this is where Ivan and like basically where I'm at now. Well, about a year ago. I'm trying to just get to that point today, then I'll stop it. I'll try to keep it a little short, definitely under an hour. I'm like halfway. So basically, um, I had this dream, and these symbols started coming in, and it was pitch black. I mean, I couldn't see anything. But these weird green, like non-worldly or like Egyptian, like hieroglyphic, these weird letters and symbols were coming into me and downloading into me, and I didn't know what it was. I felt so weird. So I went on YouTube, and thank God I did. Best discovery in the past year. I went on YouTube and I looked. I found Ivan and I found Jim Charles and David Icke. So I started with David Icke. I figured out he only gives you the problem. He doesn't give you the answer. You don't watch David Icke and you don't feel positive afterwards. I mean, yeah, he explains stuff, but he never gives you any answers. So in some way, I think he is fear mongering. So I don't bother with him anymore, really. Here and there, I'll watch interviews just because I like his personality. Dude makes me laugh. He really does. For some reason, I like the English people. I just think they're hilarious. No offense, love you guys. But anyways, so I found Ivan and I decided to give him a message. I was like, I don't know this dude. He can be completely fake. I don't know, but with all the stuff I'm experiencing, I need answers. And I was like, I don't give a shit paying $5 to ask him a question. I think that's great. I think that's very easy. So I asked Ivan. I messaged this guy. I went through about the stuff. I watched his videos. He was very connected with things. And I was like, what, I trust him. And also, I'm someone, I can see people really for who they are. And I can just tell he was a really good guy. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to go wrong with this. So I asked Ivan. I would play it, but it would just be too long. I have on my phone, I have all my messages from him. When I work out, I listen to them sometimes too. If I'm lost on my ways, I'll listen just to kind of get a heads up of, like, maybe give me some new insight or something I forgot about that I should remind myself of. But anyways, so he said, okay, first off, all these dreams we're having, they're not dreams, they're other aspects, which completely right. And I know this is, Ivan's spirit network, but this part I want to show this he is real and he is amazing, and I love him for it. So thank you, man. But basically, he was saying that he saw that I have a lot of Andromedan, which I think I have. I've talked to some weird beings that I don't know what they are, but for some reason I feel an Andromedan energy around them. So I think I've met some of them. So basically, you're mainly Andromedan and you're Arcturian and you're having images of your other aspects, and you have found, and that's where the alchemy and 2012 happened. He was like, you've opened yourself up basically to what you need to do, and what you're here to do. And anyways, so before I 100% believed them, I was like, I want to know what these letters are. So he was like, basically, it's light language. It's Arcturian light language. Look it up. That's what you're getting. If you can find a symbol. I mean, I don't think he said this literally, but basically, it's kind of like, okay, look it up. Get more into it. Basically, is what he said, which everyone needs to do. It's for you to discover, which I hear so many times, but it's the truth. It's for you to discover. So definitely do it. Because part of these downloads is you get stuff, it's abstract, and it's up to you to unravel it and figure it out. If you want to. Aliens don't want to help people who don't want to help themselves. They don't want to babysit us. Just like the Andromedans, they've said, why would we want to help people who don't love themselves, don't love their planet, and wouldn't love us, and they don't care. What's the point of helping them? And I 1000% believe that. 1000% I can understand that. But anyways, I looked up the light language online after I, talked to Ivan. Holy shit, it was exactly what I saw too. It really was. So after that, I just kept having more downloads, more dreams, more things. I kept asking him more and more questions, and just I almost got I was so excited, and like this became my life. And I got to a point. I'll never forget. I got to a point where I started obsessing too much. And I feel everyone when they start their spiritual journey, they go into that hermit mode, which I'm out of now, I think. But I was in that hermit phase where it was like I just want to learn everything. I don't want to go out. I'm going to stay inside all day, and this is my life. And excuse me. And basically what he said was, and it's true, he was like, not literally abducted, but he was like, it was a little too much. Kind of like I was completely going for this stuff, and I was connecting, and I'm a very connected person. I have to be. I just took the last week and tried to like not really focus on spirituality and kind of deal with life here because I suck at 3D life, and it was a big mistake. Big mistake. So I caused a lot of frustrations for myself because I'm highly connected all the time. But that's just me. There's not 5 minutes that goes by in my entire life where, I'm not thinking about something that has to do with this or feeling something. But anyways, he was like, basically the Arcturians were connecting to me so much that it started doing bad. And it really did, I'll admit. It started doing bad. I started to just really lose myself in reality. I just was bad. I couldn't focus on school, work stuff, any of that. I was someone when I was younger, I was put on bipolar medication. I was told I was bipolar. I had ADHD. So I was taking those medicines, and thank God I don't now, because I stopped doing it, because I never believed I was bipolar. That's another thing. A lot of spiritual people will be diagnosed with stuff, because psychiatrists, they see you for 5 minutes every 9 months and think they know you, and they give you shit, pills. I mean, all that stuff screwed me up even more in the past, but through this, it got me to stop taking the medication, see if I do better, and I lost weight. I got healthier. I just felt like I was a lot better. So the only one that I still take now is I take something for anxiety. This thing called Remeron. It's like 2 milligrams, very small dose you can take for anxiety. But anyways, I was like, oh, I'm fine. I don't need anything. I'm just gonna stop taking all this shit. And I stopped taking the Remeron, and I had a panic attack the next day. I know he doesn't know about that, but I had a panic attack the next day, and that was really bad. So basically, I bit off more than I can chew. And this stuff, it's great. Like nowadays, I'm not going insane. Like this is life to me. Like this is just life. I don't look at it as some big crazy thing. But about a year ago, I was. I opened up the doors to everything. Imagine. I know some of you guys are young like me. Some of you are younger. Most are probably older. But back then, so when I was 24, imagine being a 24-year-old thinking you just found the meaning of life, thinking you feel like you just found why you're here, what you need to do, you have the answers for the universe, and it's like, I'm only 24. I got who knows how much left. Like, damn, It's a lot to think about. It can be. So I learned to take it baby steps. I learned to ground myself. And I basically went on this long journey with all of you guys and the webinars and Jim Charles. Like I'm going to the Hucula Ascension Workshop August 3rd. So if any of you guys are going, I will see you there. But I'm going to that. Really excited about that. I know I have the channeling ability with me. I just have to unlock it. I had a channeling experience, but it wasn't good. This being came in, and again, I don't know if it was probably lying, but this being came in and said it was Shiva, and every time I tried to talk, it was like this thing talked over me. It wouldn't let me talk. Very intense, and I shook it off, and it came out of nowhere. I didn't ask for it. It was like 10:30 at night. I was about to go to sleep, and I was like, whoa, too much, man. So I'm going to learn about that. But anyways, so I just started learning, I started asking Ivan questions, started discovering myself. And I learned that, I have so many lives, I'm living so many lives. Like last night I had a dream. I call it a dream, even though it's not a dream. I went into astral, I was in this crazy world that I've been to a couple times. I feel every time things get really rough, I'm really stressed, I go there. It's really weird, I go there. And purple skies, everything's moving fast, like there's people, walking with their dogs, but their dogs are like humanoid walking with them like their friend, completely different, I'm a huge wrestling fan, I started having dreams of into like dimensional wrestling, which is really weird, like levitating myself down to the ring and then wrestling a reptilian, like crazy weird shit, man, but this is reality. And like I said in my last video, the more you open up, the more you realize how big everything is, but that's how you realize how big you are in your spirit and God. And if there's all these planets out there, like I watched the 19, I think it's 80s or 70s Flash Gordon, you know, the one with Ming. I watched that for the first time not too long ago, and I was like, the fact that there's probably a world out there just like that, you know, and you know, all these people think, oh, we're the only ones here. Just so ridiculous, you know. It's mind blowing, but it's good. It's good, you know. I can't wait for the future. I cannot wait for the future for what holds. But I basically realized I have so many lives. I'm connected to so many beings. I am mainly Arcturian. Um, the last thing I want to include, I'm going to end this soon. The last thing I want to include is, like I said in the other video, there are beings all around us right now. There are probably aliens in another dimension right behind me that I can't see, that I can't feel, and they're probably putting some stuff in that I have no idea about. I mean, whatever, but that's the truth. But when you start opening up, some things don't want you to open up. That's where you have to talk about the dark stuff, because it's horrible to avoid the dark. You're just going to screw yourself over. You grow with the darkness. You know what I'm saying? Not with it, but the hard times help you grow. That's how you grow. You know. But basically, I don't know what I was attacked by. I was either attacked by, it was either reptilian or MIB for a fact. I think it was MIB. I don't know. But, and this is really messed up, okay? I mean, it's nothing graphic. I'm not going to get anything super bad, but I woke up, and this was around the time, like I said, where I really started discovering myself, Ivan, Arcturians, and connecting. And I was in my room, in my bed, in another room, and these two men came in suits, you know, in suits. Could have been reptilians in disguise. I mean, if it was, they should have just been themselves to try to scare the hell out of me, because that was before I ever saw one. Which they look fucking awesome. They look cool. Even a lot of them are bad, they look sick. Anyways, I digress. So, these two beings came in my room. They looked like men, and they had suits. And I was in my bed under the covers, and it seemed like it was really early. It was bright, probably like 6 in the morning. And these two things grabbed me. And like they started moving me around, and I thought they were like trying to choke me or kill me. And I literally looked up, and I was like, "Are you guys trying to kill me? Like, am I getting attacked right now? Are you trying to physically like, you know, I don't want to get into some weird shit. Are you trying to do something?" Like, this was really bad. And when I said it and looked, this like one of the things just looked at me with the most evilest eyes and look I've ever seen. And at that moment, I realized that I was like probably in the astral and that I was getting attacked. And then as soon as I realized it, boom, woke up. Woke up in my bed, put my head up, and the thing is where you know a lot of this can be a mind fuck, honestly, is that when I woke up, I knew that that happened just a second ago, but now I'm back in 3D and they're in the astral. So it's like I was safe, but I was like, holy shit, like this is real. So be careful. It's not going to happen to everybody. I'm fine. I grab myself. I protect myself now. I haven't had anything bad since. Um, but just be careful because there is the negative side that doesn't want you to succeed. They don't want you to know who you are. But as long as you got, you know, you have your guides, um, basically there's gonna be, even if they're not your guides, there's gonna be some angels or beings that just connect to you, and that's how I started, you know. I really don't even connect to my guides that much. There are just certain beings that connect to me that I know of, so I connect to them and they keep me safe. And I thank him for it, and I just leave him up. So I think I'm gonna end it there for this one. That's kind of my story. And then you know, in the past year, I basically have talked to Ivan, and I've just figured out a lot of stuff, basically who I am, my mission, all this kind of stuff. So now where I'm at, I want to actually figure out. Last time I talked to him, he said that I do have a dark part that I haven't looked into, and supposedly I was around for the Sodom and Gomorrah times. So I have some negative stuff I haven't worked on, so that's probably what I want to focus on next. But again, you don't want to focus on the negative if you don't know how to ground yourself and stay protected, because you gotta be careful, because even though, I mean, I don't want to call this a war, like in some ways it is, you know, so gotta be safe. But thank you guys. Thank you for giving me this opportunity again, and hopefully I'll be back. Have a good night. Love you guys. Peace.